What's up, everybody? Got a topic today I want to talk to you guys about. It's 3 breeding methods that every breeder needs to know. It's outcrossing, line breeding, and inbreeding. When you're breeding dogs or breeding anything specifically, I suggest that you, if you're new, you're a novice, inexperienced, do a little bit of research. I suggest at least minimum of a year of just sitting back and watching productions from some of your favorite breeders or some of your favorite dogs, lines, etc. And then go out and pick a dog or buy a dog. Everyone have to buy a dog when they're first starting out, but go out and buy a dog that you really like from a line that you really like, and spend the money. Spend decent money for a decent dog. Sometimes you can get a real good dog for really cheap, but usually that's not really all the case. Most breeders like myself like to either pet home dogs that doesn't turn out, or just keep our best production to ourselves, and either share to people we're close with, or share to people who's passionate about the breed itself, passionate about breeding, and passionate about our dogs, and is willing to pay top quality, pay for top quality. So basically, just you kind of get what you pay for, but sometimes you get lucky, and most of the time you don't. But first, let's talk about line breeding. When someone tells you what line breeding, when they're line breeding, what they're doing is, when you line breed something, what you're doing is you're maintaining the look of your stock, you're maintaining the genetics of your stock, you're maintaining the overall health of your dog. Line breeding can be, dogs that's from in the pedigree that's not immediately related, as in not immediately, like father, daughter, brother, sister, mom, stuff like that. That's another section of this discussion. Line breeding is more like uncle, cousins, aunts, stuff like that. Line breeding is, I would say, to put it in an easier term for or people to understand, it's like you yourself walking into a family reunion without your immediate family. So it's just you, no brothers, no sisters, no father, no mother, none of that. You walk into a family reunion, and that it's, let's say, you take your dog, right, and the parents are not there, and you walk into a dog park full of dogs that's related to them, that's sired by the same dad, sired by the same mom, sired by the uncles, sired by the aunts, sired by the brothers. That's line breeding. So you take that dog, and if you breed it to those dogs in that park itself, that's what you call line breeding. And that's what you're doing, is you're maintaining the same look. They're from the same family of dogs. It's genetically, they're either half of the same, 3/4 same, or sometimes even closer than that. It depends on how deep the generation is, but I usually try to keep the line breeding to a 50-50, or at a minimum 30% of the dog that's related in the pedigree. That's basically it for line breeding. Line breeding is a really good way for any breeder, novice, expert, or veteran. That's the way that you should breed your dogs, to remain consistent. It's a kind of like not a fail-safe way of breeding anything. keep the look. And on to the next subject, it's inbreeding. Inbreeding is a touchy subject because a lot of people feel like when you inbreed something, you're gonna bring out a lot of undesirable traits that wouldn't be there in the first place. It's something that you need to understand your line first before you do this type of breeding. You got to understand the strong points of your dogs, what they can produce, and what they can't produce. Most of the time when you do inbreeding, it's to further lock in a certain trait in your line that you love, that you know for a fact that your line is strongest at. But at the same time, you're going to bring out traits that your line is maybe not known for, but you're going to bring traits out that you might not desire at. Like, let's say your dog throws a lot of bone, and you want to double up on that, and you do some type of inbreeding as far as like brother, sister, father to daughter, or son to mother. But you're going to bring out, let's say, back in that line that you were going to bring out terrible feet. You're gonna have to accept that for you to lock that in, you're gonna bring out some certain bad traits in your line, and that's why it takes that's why it's something that if you're not experienced at, it's something I would avoid doing. It's for breeding. That type of breeding is only for breeders who have, in my opinion, have generations of sound dogs. Let's say you have 5 generations of dogs that's really correct, really conform to the breed type as far as feet, tail, angulations, width, head, stop, underjaw, clean bite, good eyes, good neck arch, just overall really, really perfect dogs. Nothing is perfect, but really, really close to it. Let's say you have 5 generations of that, okay? That's when you should probably do a little bit of inbreeding if you really want to lock in that trait and outcross after. But for inbreeding, to put it in easier terms for everyone to understand again, inbreeding is you and your immediate family of dogs. So basically, it's father to daughter, daughter to father, father to daughter, son to mom, okay, or siblings, or brother or sister, immediate, something like that. That is inbreeding. That's something that is done with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of just experience. The next subject is outcrossing. Outcrossing is one. It's what it is. It's breeding outside of your yard, breeding outside of your lineage, breeding outside of your pedigree, breeding outside of your genetics. That is something that's probably not the easiest to do if you're looking for consistency, but it happens a lot with a lot of new breeders, and to me it's a mistake if you're not doing it correctly. If you're not understanding pedigree of a dog, if you're not understanding the breeding methods, period. For an outcross to work, is you have to breed your line to another line of dogs that exhibits the same traits that your dog have, but completely from completely different genetics. I'm going to probably make an example. Let's say I breed a Grand Champion Rocco daughter to a dog named Grand Champion Exclusive, which I also own, and I have in-house to do that type of breeding myself. Those two dogs right there are completely from different lines of breeding, but they share the same traits. They have good bone. That's something that I don't want to lose in my breeding program. Exclusive carries a lot of width. My line need a lot of width. That's what I'm breeding into. Also, with Exclusive's line, they tend to have not that perfect of feet. I mean, he does have really good feet, but the line behind him kind of doesn't throw that good of feet. But Rocco's line, they throw really nice tight feet, nice straight front. So that's something when I'm doing that outcross, I keep in mind. And then also with Exclusive line, the top line is great. Angulation is amazing on him, and the temperament. Both the temperament are the same. They're both really chill, really calm, collective dogs. So when I do that type of breeding, I'm not really taking anything away from the female I'm breeding to Exclusive, but I'm adding more of what I want, and not doubling up on the bad feet. But I'm adding more width. They both have the nice head size, cheeks, eye separation, top skull, everything like that, and neck. So when I do that type of breeding, I'm really not taking anything away from what I have, but I'm actually adding in there, and I'm keeping it more consistent, even though I'm doing an outcross. So the litter that's gonna come out might not be as consistent as if you're gonna line breed the blood, but you're not gonna go far left or far right as much as if you did a complete outcross. Let's say you take a Grand Champion Rocco dollar to a complete opposite, like a classic dog. You're gonna screw your whole genetic pools up, and you're gonna add more classic genes, more thin bone, narrow chest, smaller, weaker head, no stop, stuff like that. Stuff that some classic is just weak at. So basically, if you're gonna do that, make sure you breed two dogs that carries the same trait but different genetically, different lines. That's really it. And outcrossing is, to break it down for everyone else, outcrossing is basically you're taking yourself in and you bring your dog to a like I said, like a dog park, with no family members, nobody. It's just you and a bunch of strange dogs, same breed but just strange, different families of dogs. That's an outcross. So that's how you breed. That's what an outcross is called. So that's really it for the three. And I want to go back and touch a little bit on inbreeding. For me, I feel that a great inbreeding is right after an outcross, or line, or even line breeding right back. When you outcross, you're looking for a trait that your line doesn't have. So when you have those puppies, when they come out, you look for the lines that's a really good blend between. You look for the puppies that are really good blend between your line and that line that you just bred to. So you take two. If you have two good puppies, I'm just saying. Let's say you have a brother and sister, and they both carry a mixture of the look that you love. That's when it's more safe to do a line breeding, or an inbreeding. basically it's already an outcross. Genetics are not really as tight as already is. So when you inbreed that, there's less chance of bringing out multiple flaws in each dog. But you're gonna lock in the traits that you desire in the first place. So that's probably the more safe route to do inbreeding. But it also make sure you do a little bit of research on that. Most of the time when someone do an outcross, they take a daughter or son right back to the grandfather, the sire, something like that. That's more of a line breeding, stuff like that. But I hope this subject helped everybody. I'm doing this on the fly, so there's no paper pen. It's just right on top of my head. If I said something wrong, let me know in the comments. If you guys like what you hear, make sure to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and share it with your friends. Next time, let me know if any other subject you guys want to talk about. Peace.